Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's swimming captain Wayde Marsh, men's basketball captain JDI, and swimming coach Gardner. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Men's and women's swimming both won the Randolph-Macon Invitational in Richmond. Riding came in third at Sweetbriar, while wrestling placed 15th at Ohio Northern. Both basketball teams lost their home openers on Saturday, with the men falling 67-52 against Randolph and the women dropping a 60-45 decision to Guilford. And at track and field's season-opening Liberty kickoff, the women had 5 athletes come in first among Division III competitors, while the men notched 6 top 5 finishes. With me now is Wayde Marsh, senior swimming captain for Milford, Delaware. Wayde, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
That win in the Randolph-Macon Invitational capped off the 2012 portion of your schedule. How would you rate the Generals' performances so far this year?
I think we've been spectacular. The work ethic has been there. Everybody's been showing up. Morning practices at 6 a.m. aren't that easy. And everyone's been working really hard and trying their best to accomplish all of their goals in the pool and in the classroom. So I think our first 2 months showed that we're going to have a wonderful year.
Big changes for Washington and Lee swimming this year with a combined men's and women's program now. How have you and your co-captains been able to help with that transition?
Well, it's been quite easy, really. Swimming kind of is naturally a co-ed sport. A lot of us come from club teams that are co-ed. So the transition has been more natural, I guess, than was at first expected. And Coach Gardner is wonderful, and Greg and John, our 2 assistant coaches, are great. So it's been pretty easy for us, luckily. And it's been really fun coming up with ways to get the 2 teams together to interact in and out of the pool more. So it's just been a lot of just being enthusiastic and being excited, which is easy when you're on the swim team.
The ODAC does not currently sponsor men's swimming, so Washington and Lee competes in the Bluegrass Mountain Conference. You've got a mix of Division II and Division III teams in that league. How does that elevated competition help WNL?
I think it helps us kind of put everything in perspective. A lot of those schools have much more financial resources than us. They have students who are transferring from top Division I programs and are now competing at D2 institutions, or they have athletes that are from foreign nations that are in their prime and are on their country's respective Olympic teams. And we don't really have those resources, but we are still able to compete. So it's humbling, but it's also very helpful for us to be able to compete at such a high level. I mean, last year, for example, we had an athlete, Brian Sterling, who I think placed 6th in our conference meet and then placed 9th at the national meet. So that's just an indication of how competitive it is in our conference. And I think it's good because it allows us to really move beyond where we think we might be, I guess.
What are your expectations for the remainder of the season, both personally and for the team?
Well, personally, I'd like to see a lot of the athletes get cuts for NCAAs. You have to be in the top 16 to be invited. We already have one swimmer, Rick Sykes, who has an A cut, but I'd like to see a few of the relays and a few other individuals who are close to be able to get at least B cuts and get invited to the meet so that we can have a strong representation at nationals. But before that, we have to do well at our conference meet. The women are, again, the favorites for ODACs. But I'd still like to see them do really well and just blow it out of the water. And for the men, our conference is as competitive as ever, but I think we have a good chance to place near the top. And I think we can do all those things by just continuing what we're doing. And with that, some of my other goals are just to keep our team GPA really high and stay involved across campus like we have been.
Wayde, thanks for being here. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm joined now by JDI, senior basketball captain from Charlotte. JD, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Washington Lee is 3-3 so far this year, 1-1 in the conference. What have you been pleased with through the first 6 games? Also, what do the Generals need to improve upon as the year goes along?
Well, through 6 games, being 3-3, it's not where we ideally wanted to be, but we've definitely seen some good things. Played really well versus Tufts. It was a good win versus NESCAC school, and we beat Methodist pretty good. What we found out so far is we've got a lot of guys that know how to compete and know how to play. It's just a matter of kind of molding it all together and putting all the little things together and coming up with some more big wins. But like you said, that we have a lot to improve upon on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively. We've last 2 games, we've kind of gone back to some old habits that have kind of put us in a rough spot here, and we need to kind of figure it out tonight versus Averett.
For your career, you're averaging about 9.5 points per game, but you've had a tremendous impact on Washington in the league through rebounding, defense, assist, and so forth. What do you look to contribute when you take the court?
Well, I've never been much of a scorer. And throughout high school, I was always the third or even fourth option on my team. We had a lot of good players. So I've kind of just tried to figure out how to score just, by hustling, getting offensive rebounds, stuff like that. But yeah, every time I go out there, I just try to contribute in any way I can, whether it's, rebounding, blocking shots defensively, or, finding my open teammates. And, Hutch has kind of been able to put me in positions where I can, find open teammates or, being able to attack the offensive glass.
Every year, the ODAC is one of the most competitive leagues in Division III. This year appears to be no different. What are the keys for W&L to compete in such a deep and balanced conference?
There's no doubt. The ODAC is the toughest, either first or second behind the NESCAC, year in and year out. I think Virginia Wesleyan's #1 right now, just jumped over MIT. But, top to bottom, it's the toughest league, I think. You can't sleep on teams like Hampton-Sydney, Macon, Randolph. And just I don't think teams can sleep on us. So every game, it's one game at a time, really one play at a time, Hutch tells us. And so every night you got to be focused.
What can Washington and Lee accomplish this season?
We can accomplish a lot. But right now, we're kind of just focused on one game at a time, like I said. Our goals are to make the NCAA tournament, and that's still definitely an option for us. But we really need to take it one game at a time and focus on Averett right now. And we'll see at the end of the year what we've accomplished.
JD, thanks for being here. Good luck this year.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by swimming coach Cami Gardner. Cami, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. You've
made the move this year from women's swimming coach to head coach of both teams and director of aquatics. How is that transition going?
It's actually going really well. It's not something that's new to me or my coaching staff. We've both experienced combined programs in the past. However, it is new to W&L, and the teams have really embraced it. They're very excited. The atmosphere has a lot of energy, and we have great captains that are working together to make it a smooth transition. So right now, everybody's pretty happy.
What are the advantages of having a combined program?
Well, logistically, it's great for practice. We work around kids' schedules to make sure we practice as a team, so it's been really helpful with regard to that. But in terms of the swimmers, it really, both the men and women do need different things as athletes, but really they complement each other. So again, with the atmosphere and everybody excited to work together and support each other, it's been really good for them.
The 2012 part of the schedule is over. You now face the annual challenge of the long mid-season break. How do you keep the teams focused during all these weeks of training ahead?
We talk about what we've already accomplished and all the work we've already done. This meet at the Yellow Jacket Invite in December was probably our most successful mid-season meet ever. We've gotten an NCAA cut, we set 2 school records, and we had a handful of lifetime bests and most in-season bests, which for an unshaved, untapered team is pretty outstanding. So we're really excited about it, and we just kind of roll with that enthusiasm and that excitement that, hey, we've done a lot of work, we've accomplished a lot, but without, work over that break, it's all for naught. So we're keeping focused on where we want to go as a program and what we've accomplished to this date.
As you look ahead to 2013, what are the team's goals for the rest of the year?
The team goals are to continue with the transition and to work hard, get ahead in their studies, and swim fast, and really everything else will take care of itself.
Cami, thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.